Sideline of goal! Lake Winners doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Burning! Alone with a double kill! Dropping fast! Monopoint's there! He's still alive! Wait, Oshek is right! He's going one time! He's going a second! He's taking it out! Oh my god! On three! They're all dead!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Summit to Europe by G2A.com enters the playoffs now. It's time for Secret versus PR best of 3. We've got a total of 4 teams in our playoffs, Ben. Other 2 teams are VP Polar. Don't know what's going on with them now that they've lost Scott Black. And they'll be playing Cloud9 next. So 4 teams. I guess Secret come in as slight favorites here after Star Ladder. But, hey, anything could happen. With that said, guys, first match is underway. It's game 1 of a best of 3. And we'll just go ahead and hop into the draft, Ben. I've been a big Dityara fan believer. I've been a big Dityara fan. I'm a believer now, man. His Slark has been a beast. He carried them to the playoffs on the back of some really impressive performances. For those who aren't familiar with him, he's not even an official member of their team right now, but he's been doing work on that Slark in particular. That being said, though, they've given away the Secret Wisp.
Can you Dark Pack out of the Necrolite stun? I don't think I've actually seen it happen.
I have no idea.
I mean, I would assume
think so.
Yeah. I think I've seen him. I'm not sure if I've seen him play Slark yet. I've seen him play like a couple of heroes. I watched a couple of the games, but we'll see if his Slark delivers this game. It's gonna be a tough one versus the Big Daddy Wisp, a big no-no in most draft books.
And the Necrolite. This dual lane beat a tri-lane at Star Ladder and did so convincingly.
It was also versus a Slark.
Yeah, that's true. Now, to be fair, I think their opponents played that one pretty poorly. I don't think many people would argue with that. But that being said, mistakes tend to happen when you're up against the Big Daddy Wisp. That's just kind of how it goes. That hero really, it makes you underestimate how survivable your opponents are, how much punishment they can take, and then 1 second too long to get the kill, they rotate a hero in, mech gets popped, someone comes in with a Ravage, well, they won't have a Tide this game, and things just go wrong.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to give Simba this game.
This was the strategy that EG used at Star Ladder. In the Tiger Grand Finals, I don't think Secret played the Tide once. I believe EG got it every game. They got their Brew for S4 a couple of times. Secret could have first picked Tide, but they chose to go with the Wisp.
Yeah. I think it's better for them first picking EO over Tidehunter, but giving away Tidehunter and Doom, Timber's still in the pool, and NP. They really gave him Doom a lot after Tidehunter was taken by EG, so I'm curious to see whether they're going to do the same thing. There it is.
Yeah, generally Doom is pretty good against Timbersaw, but when there's a Wisp and a Necrophos backing him up, I'm not sure it's that simple.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Doom deny pick. If they have a strategy for the Doom, then I think it's okay, but you're gonna be forced to Doom the Necrophos. I feel a lot of the time it's just not that effective against a Wisp usually, and especially when there's a Timber, you can't have him running amok.
Yeah, as far as that Timber goes, they really have to Doom him right now. They don't have too much lockdown to deal with him, and well, we'll see where Tower Rangers go next. They've already snapped up what looks to be their 3 cores in the first 3 picks, so they've given Secret ample time to try and counterpick them. And as far as that goes, Necrophos generally matches up pretty well against melee heroes. Timbersaw normally excels in that role. And they have an answer for the Doom, but I guess this is where you expect your Tide to come up big. You try to relocate or save someone, you try to go for a relocate gank. If Tide's in position with a Blink Ravage, he can really punish that. So a lot of pressure will be here on the Tidehunter this game, I feel. Can he deliver?
Yeah. All their heroes are very farm intensive too.
Another pseudo Wisp counter, I guess.
Very disruptor. Timber too.
That's true. So maybe Secret have to think out a BKB on their Timbersaw now, which has not been the way that Simba's liked to play it. He normally goes for the early Bloodstone. Sometimes we see the Ags or the Shivas next. He normally plays more of a... Honestly, he ends up being the 1 position a lot of the time when he plays that Timber, or very close to it.
Disruptor's really weak in tri-lanes though, so Secret can easily aggro, I feel like. Especially if Doom is a 4 role. We're not exactly sure if Doom's going to be farming safe lane, farming mid, Farming off lane, no clue. It could be Titanter support too, so I still think Power Rangers have a pretty weak tri lane.
Yeah,
Regardless.
their lanes don't look that strong in general. Like Slark, Doom, neither of these heroes are particularly strong in lane. Tide's not bad, but he's likely going to be a solo, and mostly gets strong once he gets his levels up. So yeah, they're not looking to punish Secret too much in the laning stage. It almost looks like they want to outgreed them, but that is where the Big Daddy Wiz can go to work in the jungle, getting the double stacks off, controlling the runes, and they've got heroes that can clear those stacks with the Necrophos Timbersaw. And now they go for the Dazzle. Huh. So they're running. Is it a Dazzle Wiz support duo, or is there any chance of a core Dazzle? It's been a long time since we've seen that.
It's probably Dazzle EO support duo. I don't see a good reason for them to run it solo. It's decent versus the melee matchups though, but there's almost nothing that synergizes well with the minus armor. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not exactly sure where the Dazzle pick comes in from. Maybe they want armor themselves, but it's again
They
not
don't
that
really
useful.
have physical. Yeah, they could armor themselves. They don't really have physical damage of their
Yeah.
own.
The Doom Disruptor combo is pretty nasty though.
It's also not that easy against Tide. Like, Ravage has a pretty damn big AoE, so you may be forced to max Grave first just to be able to get that off and not get caught out.
It is really nice for playing aggressively and a secondary healer in case Necrophos gets, I don't know, static sword or ravaged. They can keep him alive.
And very important, they did ban out Ancient Apparition before going into this. So they could have banned it last pick, but they wanted to make sure if they went for more heals that... And the Timbersaw... Like, all these heroes either have a lot of regen or a lot of heals. So
Why didn't they just pick Witch Doctor over it though? I think Witch
they
Doctor
actually banned it themselves.
I think Witch Doctor is much stronger than Dazzle in this.
But he's
particular
really
case.
good versus Wiz. So maybe they just didn't want to risk giving it away.
Yeah, more likely the case.
And yeah, Power Rangers had the first pick coming into that stage, so I guess that's why. Could have been really good for Secret though.
I think it might have been worth the risk for them. I mean, they could have. Yeah, I assume it's just another healer for the EO Necrophos. Just make a Necrophos Superman.
Superphos. Necro Man. No, there's no good. There's nothing here.
Necroman.
Power Rangers, 5th pick. What do you go for? I guess this kind of goes into the question of how likely is it that it's a jungle Doom.
I would say something that's not farm intensive, so they can take the fight early and try and shut down a wisp or fend off an aggro try.
Yeah, I really don't feel like Power Rangers need more late game. Like, to me, they look
No.
pretty good shape late game. Double Ravage, double Doom, Slark, who can pretty much outcarry anything here if he gets enough farm.
Yeah, I think it's important for them just don't go too greedy. They might struggle to get levels on Doom and Disruptor if they put them in a support role.
I'm a little worried about them getting pushed down early. They have basically no D-push. And even though none of Secret's heroes take buildings quickly, there's still a Death Prophet out there. There's still like a Bristleback. There's some frontline tanks if they want to go aggressive in the mid-game and 5-mana lot. They're going to go Storm, though. This is like a very, very Empire-esque draft from 6-8 months ago, where they just go for these very mobile gankers around the map. They have some team fight backing up, but it's either a 4-position Doom or a Tide at this point. That is a
That's
very greedy draft.
It's really, really greedy. And
Unless you think we're going to see the return of the Jungle Storm pioneered by Puppy. That was not very effective.
it's all right. It's not bad, but when you already have passive laners, I think it's pretty bad for this particular draft. Secret, I think they should aggro try and just punish this mass greed by Power Rangers. Timbersaw will do well versus Doom or Titanter, so Power Rangers might look to just aggro try themselves to dodge it. Now they just need a strong laner for S4.
It's a big if, but if Secret aren't able to shut Power Rangers down early, they got very little lockdown for the Storm. They do get some now with the Dragon Tail. But it's still not much. I mean, unless they build some hexes or something like that later on.
They have a pretty nasty 5-man though. Now they have a little bit of extra tower siege with the Dragon Knight thrown in. And Power Rangers push is actually very terrible.
Yeah, so this kind of is a similar... Uh-oh. Don't freeze on me now, computer. Okay. It's kind of similar to like the Bristleback or the Death Prophet. A little bit gives you more lockdown than those heroes, or at least more reliable, but a tanky frontliner that can actually kill towers, so... You pretty much know Secret want to... Yeah, they can farm, but they definitely want to be punishing Power Rangers' weak D-push and fairly greedy draft by like that 10-15 minute mark.
Yeah, DK is just really good against Storm Spirit, at least for shutting him down. He's not that great versus Slark, though, I feel. But we'll see how they do it.
He's going to be very high armor with that Dazzle ult. Super tank. Plus,
Super.
they'll likely get a mech this game. Jesus, these minimap icons. Enormous, dude.
Gotta see what's going on in the minimap.
Does Dakota wear bifocals or something? Like, my goodness. Also, I don't have in-game sound. You don't hear anything, do you?
I do not.
What did they do to our Dota? Okay, I hear it. It's just quiet. Seems okay on stream. Maybe it's just the speakers. Alright, well, on that inauspicious start, we get underway. Guys, this is the playoffs for the Summit Europe. All matches are best of 3. 4 teams enter the stage, double elimination until the grand finals, which are BO5, no advantage to the winner's bracket team. Their advantage is they get to chill and watch the loser bracket team grind their way up there. So, with that said, only one team will qualify through this directly. The others may have a shot through the redemption vote in the compendium, but with that, we'll get underway. It's game 1 of a best of 3 secret. On the Dire side, they won the coin toss. They elected for first pick. PR chose Radiant. Here we go. Simba on his Timbersaw. Big Daddy. Can't believe they gave it away, but he's on the Wisp. S4, your Dragon Knight. That'll put Kuroki onto the Necrophos. Puppy on the Dazzle. Kind of a throwback heal strat here. Something we haven't really seen too much of in a long time, since Ancient Apparition is often picked to counter this type of thing, but Secret did go ahead and ban it. And on the side of your Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you've got J4 playing the Doom with the Stout Shield picked up. Looks like he may head into the jungle early on. We'll have Cheshire Cat handle your Tide Hunter. That puts Shachlo onto the solo mid Storm. Going bottom lane will be the man of the hour for me, Ditya Ra on his Super Slark, and at least Soniko as the Disruptor. And let's see if we can cut these notifications out.
The EO didn't cut down the trees in the safe lane jungle like they normally do, so this means they're pretty committed to having the aggressive tri-lane. Also, Puppy gets a very nice D-ward and a block spawn too, so
yeah, like what's the Disruptor going to do about this? Just hopefully not die.
Yeah, that's pretty much just what they're trying to do in this lane. And maybe they can get some interference from the Doom, but he's not... he doesn't have a very aggressive build with no boots too. And it's still pretty difficult. They don't really have a good catch. Maybe like a glimpse into Pounce, but nothing really control the Wisp early.
I mean, if you're the Doom, I guess the other option is you could go aggressive jungle. And J4 may rotate that way. They have not blocked this camp off. So, thing is, he can't really pressure a Timbersaw that much.
Yeah, he's buying a Oov maybe? No? Aggressive jungle it is.
All
They
right.
do have eyes on him already though.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he can threaten mid a bit from here, but then again, both these heroes are tanky. Timber and your Dragon Knight.
Yeah, they had picked like a Death Prophet to be a lot more vulnerable, but doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Big Daddy looks like he's trying to push out J4 from the jungle. And so Nico also trying to wrap around on S4.
No,
But
they
he's
got,
there.
as you mentioned, eyes on him, but Swiss Dragon Knight, not the scariest duo. And they leave Ditya Ra to his own devices bottom lane. So generally when this team runs him on the Slark, he gets absolute free farm. Kind of like how I'd say Alliance run it for Loda, where they really prioritize snowballing the Slark early, but it's not happening for PR this game. And I'll be very curious to see if Ditya Ra can still have an impact without that free farm he's accustomed to.
Big Daddy's doing a very good job of just mirroring the moves of the two supports on PR, making sure that they can't really kill. They have to commit, I'd say, 3 to get a kill, unless Timber or DK's playing very aggressively. But Simba's playing very safely in the safe lane and sitting around at max HP. Yeah, and they're just not really that vulnerable to a gank, so Big Daddy can run around willy-nilly. Bottom lane, 2v1 situation, 2 range versus Slark, not easy for him. He's sitting at a paltry 0 CS there. So early game, yeah, going Secret's way, how you would expect, except the CS wars.
The Wisp is not getting too much in the way of levels, though. That's the one issue for them. Simba will get tethered to. He's going to try and turn here with Soniko to side, Timber chaining through. There is still a stomp waiting, but they need follow-up damage for this. They'll bring in Cheshire Cat now. Can't really go on Simba. Got to find Big Daddy in the backlines, but no chance of that. In good news, though, as you would expect, the Storm is having a very good time mid, not being pressured at all, and Secret don't really gank very well, so we could finally might see a Storm that actually snowballs. I've seen Zephyr pick this spot recently, but no snowballing for poor Blitz.
Tidehunter getting just harassed constantly in the top lane too. Big Daddy already has his bottle. I mean, he's not doing poorly in terms of levels, not compared to. Uh-oh.
Close call there. Simba going in for that follow-up chain, but not quite able to get the damage he needs in the end.
Yeah, Disruptor's really hurting on levels too. He has nowhere to pull to. He dropped a lot of sentries, but nothing that can unblock his spawn. Just one big camp, but what's Disruptor going to do versus a big camp?
And all this Doom's movements has really slowed him down. Like, he starts in his own jungle, then he goes towards the enemy jungle, now he's back in his own woods. Level 2, closing on 3 at this time of the game. Not too bad, but the thing is he doesn't have any stacks built up for like a Wildkin to clear. He hasn't controlled the runes at all. We've seen Secret getting... They got a double spawn last time. They will only get a single spawn this time, but overall the runes going their way as well. So far the supports of PR not really accomplishing as much in the laning stage. Whereas like Puppy's keeping Yara down, and as mentioned, the Wisp is getting all the runes.
Yeah, Slark's still sitting at 0 CS, and he's going to have to come back through kills. And maybe on the back of a Ravage too, and Tidehunter on the top lane when he had those two supports there also leached some of his experience.
Yara tries to go in for a Dark Pack bottom lane, but that is very dangerous against this Necrophos once he hits 6. As mid lane, they've rotated in Big Daddy. They're going to dive Shadeslow a bit. He's got a bounty rune as well as an additional rune. S4 is going to run into it as a stun cooling down soon. Shadeslow ends up getting the kill on the Wisp, who dies to the tower, and at the same time, S4 pursued out, going to be punished for this. They'll be giving up 2 kills here. Oh my goodness. Big Daddy, just too squishy. Pays the price. That is very painful for Secret.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the aggro of the tower too. I think DK should have been
I didn't even
okay.
see it hitting him, honestly, but...
Yeah, with Tether, they should have been able to get that kill. I think it took like 1 or 2 more right clicks and a breathe fire right onto the
This could
Storm.
be trouble for Secret, man.
Yeah, this is really bad for them. Storm almost level 7 now, and just pretty easy access to Wisp now, especially now that DK is not even level 6.
The good thing for Secret is they do take towers reasonably well. They don't kill them fast, but they've got a lot of heal. So they can clear out the wave here bottom lane. They'll look to gain an early lead through gold. But in the meantime, Big Daddy caught out in the tree line. It's actually Yara who will leap away. Your Storm Spirit, no teleport scroll, that comes now. With the treads, he's probably not giving Secret this tower. I feel like there's a pretty good chance he TP's in. No Ravage, though, and they have already used Glyph. Maybe I'll let it go. He's a little bit low on mana, too. But the next tower, he'll definitely come for that.
It's really important for Secret to control the runes. Storm's already having a really good start. He'll get the 6-minute rune on top, but hopefully it's not a non-bounty rune for their sake.
Yeah. Sad times for your Tide top lane. He's just getting bullied. It's not often you see a melee hero bully the Tidehunter, but I suppose if anyone's going to do it, it's a Timbersaw.
Yeah, he got the Oov too, and that's a very aggressive build. No, so that means really slow arcanes for him, a little bit less regen too, so he can't get a 6. That actually really hurts him. If he TPs to a lane, he doesn't have Ravage to back him up. He has to sit there and leech for a little bit, and by that time it might be daytime if he waits too long.
So, despite giving up the double kill in the first blood...
Oh, and mid.
Uh-oh. They're going on Shade Show. He's got his ultimate, though. They already used their Dragon Tail, and that's what happens when you give the Storm these early levels, is he can live through a stun, look to turn it, J4 will walk in, but it's a Wildkin too. Not really sure what he brings to the table here. In fact, he'll get tethered and then chased on. Shade Show dropping low to this. Everybody at full HP at Secret. You can kind of see the power of their lineup. Just everyone. All are healed. All game. It's like a super Chen.
That's a very early fort. I'm not sure why they forted so early. He wasn't even really right-clicking it.
Yeah. Gotta block that poison damage, man.
Well, now they're all going to be healed up. Tidehunter is almost level 6 now, so now's the time for them to try and hit, especially when Whis is really weak at this point. He's not level 4, and he already uses Invis. They would have scored a kill on him with Glimpse had he not had that.
But he's got 2 bottles, so he really can't die.
Immune.
Immune to damage. Well, they take this tower unopposed as well, and you do start to wonder, when will PR Fields their time to strike? They had Ravage for that. He had a TP scroll online. The Storm will disconnect. I'm not sure if the lag was starting before the tower fell, but well, they've given up some map control here, and that will help Big Daddy catch up in terms of his farm, which, to be honest, he's not getting kills on the Wisp. He's got a death to his name, not that snowball start he's accustomed to, and he has not stacked the jungle, as you pointed out, so he really needs this tower gold.
Oh, he's still doing well compared to the opponent's supports, which I think is fairly important to consider. On top of that, we don't know what Necrophos is really going for yet. He has 2,300 gold. Could be, what, Blink, Dagon, Atos, Mech,
Chances of the Dagon.
pretty low, I'd say.
That would be pretty badass. Just a
I mean,
naked Dagon rush on Necrolite.
it's not bad.
Necrophos.
Not bad with these two healers. I think you can actually get away with it this
It's
game.
good versus Slark as well. Having burst damage versus that hero is really important.
Yeah. I mean, he could easily go to mech and they could just push top tower, though. I don't know if they want to go that route, though, just because of the Tidehunter Ravage finally being online. But at the same time, they can't really bypass the Dragonite. They can't just run past them and go for the Wisp. I guess Storm Spirit can, but none of the others really.
Yeah, and then they don't have a blink on Cheshire Cat first. As mentioned, he went for the Oov, which it doesn't really delay his blink that much, but considering he's not farming well, every little
I
bit
don't know.
makes a
Yeah, it
difference.
delays his Arcane, which delays his Blink, which is
Yeah.
pretty bad.
If
for
he
him.
goes Arcane and then Blink, like Secret might take a tier 2 and all the tier 1s before he even has it. They don't have any ancient stacks. This is kind of the issue with running the Jungle Doom. You've no one to set up the Tide, and as Radiant offlane, you basically have to abandon the lane to go stack your ancients.
Well, it would have been okay for them had they decided to play greedy. They have a greedy line, except they decided to try and roam top with a Disruptor and a Doom that's like level 1 and 2. So they're very unlikely they're going to get a kill, and they really have to get a kill for it to be worth it, or else why are they wasting their time running all the way from bottom lane to top lane and then back to the jungle?
Alright, well now we know what Secret's strategy is. Puppy, he drew the arrow of doom. Prepare.
Prepare.
How you feeling this morning, Ben?
It's
You
all right.
energized?
It's alright. Excited to see some Wisp action. Wisp is usually pretty fun to watch.
That's what really
And
long.
of course some PR.
I just want PR to win at least one game so I can play the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers song, dude. That's all I live for. Get that Megazord. Well, guys, we've got a go from Puppy, but that was the earlier pause.
Why does Simba have so many A's in his name?
Because he's singing. It's not like in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps nights. In the jungle. So, you know, he's Simba! I don't know, dude. Are these the questions that keep you up at night?
It's the obnoxious all caps names that take up the majority of the screen.
Should we create a new role for next season? Name limits?
Well, I mean, usually they have character limits, right, for names. I don't know how many characters that is, but that's a lot. Maybe like 20 characters. That's a lot for a name.
The team names actually get pretty long too sometimes.
Yeah.
Someone got mad at us because our overlay covered up the team names. Like it said, instead of Root Gaming, it says Oot Gaming. I was just like, you know what? Maybe they should have a shorter name. Because otherwise you just have this giant hole in your overlay that's normally not being used unless the team happens to have a long name.
Look at Sonico. It's PR dot exclamation point Sonico underscore of underscore the. Oh wait, not the second underscore. The Laputa.
This
Another exclamation. Okay.
that sounds like Sonico of the Laputa. It sounds like he's part of like some warring tribe or something. Like what?
Well, Disruptor is kind of part of a warring
That's true.
tribe.
Maybe he's just role playing.
Okay. Storm Seer's back in the game. Here they go.
Connection problems. Yeah, I mean I get that. It was that wasn't why I said question mark. It was more. What's your timing here?
Question marks don't convey that many words.
That's fair. I like the question mark because sometimes you want people to read a lot into it. You know, it's like you say question mark and it could mean like get your ass in the game right now, or it could mean like, hey man, how's it going? You know?
It's like the offensive question mark. It's like if Slark runs in and just gets Reaper to death, and then you question mark him. It's like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Or it could be like,
Especially you got to throw a pause in there every once in a while. Yeah, just to IX mic it up properly. All right, we're back into it now, Mr. Simba. This
so
is farming well.
It's the Midas.
And now we go into the mid game with all three of Secret's cores having really good CS. The Dragon Knight death definitely hurts him a bit, but still S4 farming well. He's going to stag Ancients. And it looks like Secret want to play the greed game, which, oh, S4. Hold that thought. He's going to walk into Shadeshell here, but these two don't have Doom, so there's no kill potential. So you walk into the mid game where PR on paper probably is the greedier draft, but they're not really playing it very efficiently in that regard. Disruptor's still not level 6. Your Doom not even close to it, already 8 minutes in. Tide not particularly farmed, no Ancient stacks for him. Slark not particularly farmed. They're down 3,000 gold, Ben, despite getting a first blood and a double kill, which, to be honest, was pretty avoidable for Secret. They chose to embrace that fate mid lane.
Yep, now they will just invade their jungle, try and get Big Daddy some level 6 action, and make use of Kuro's Midas. So, 5 AM begins. Eyes on the prize. No mech.
So now the question is, like, it's Ravage into what? No Static Storm, no other AoE follow-up, no Doom. Storm's way too poor to actually fight this.
Yeah, they really need Static Storm. I think that's the big one.
I really feel like they should have considered contesting that mid tower. They had Ravage, they had tied with the TP, and they just let it go. And now they're... Because at that point, Big Daddy was, what, level 3? Now he's level 4 with the mech, with the Necrolite heal almost maxed out, and it's much harder to defend from here. They're not even going to try.
Yep. And what's to keep them from pushing the T2? Besides the 5-second glyph. That's it. They don't use the glyph? Oh, why not? Why didn't they use the glyph?
Is this time for another question mark?
Yeah. That's 5 seconds. That's
We
especially
start
when you're,
BMing our players.
especially when you're split pushing. It's really necessary that you get that off.
Yeah, it's not like they didn't have time either. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a one-shot down.
Well, now it's gonna be I think a T1 and a T2 for nothing.
Yeah, well, if they're not defending the tier 1 and they've already let the tier 2 drop below half, they're going to give this one up as well. So you're looking at PR with, what's it going to be, like a 5,000 gold deficit by the time this is complete? And Secret on the other side, very quick to defend their own tower. And the other thing is, PR don't really take buildings very quickly. What do they have for that? Doom with a Wildkin armor aura? They have no building damage, so they're getting nothing out of this. They are now down 4 towers to 0.
Yeah, part of that's also due to just losing the T1 on bottom so quickly. The lane was already all the way pushed out to PR's tier 2. And even if they were just right-clicking the wave and spamming spells, they still can't get to the T1 and push it out in time. So, yeah, still, Wisp only level 4.5. No experience gained there. No defense mounted at all.
And it looks like Dityara may go for a catch-up Midas here. Not completely as Treads, though he has the gold for it. So they go. Do they just try to super greed their way back into this game? J4 sitting on 1,200 gold. Let's see if he's gonna. No, he buys his arcane boots. Okay, so no super greed. It looks like, but
Oh, Big Daddy. Looks like you're about to get doomed.
at the same time, S4 just chilling in the woods. Teleport scroll check is there's only one in Kuroki, and they are getting eyes on the Big Daddy. He's still not level 6. He's actually. This has to be one of the slowest starts I've ever seen for Big Daddy. As your Timber Saw will dive to Yara. They doom Big Daddy from the backside, and then what? Where's the follow-up? He's just diving towards where the tower once stood. Okay, Yara comes back in, goes for the Dark Pact, and then gets chakrammed and blown up by the Timber. Big Daddy will not be denied. Attempted there by Simba. And J4 will TP out. So they get a Wisp kill, but when your Slark's trying to farm up a Midas and dies for that, hardly
Totally
seems worth it.
not worth.
So
He's
much
so
not worth.
squishy.
I mean, like I said, Dityara has been a beast on the Slark, but they've also prioritized getting him fat when they've run this before. And they left him in a 1v2, which became a 1v3 for a decent amount of the game. Like, Disruptor was there a little bit, but Sonigo didn't really do anything. Then he TP'd mid, and Slark was fully left alone. Dityara's not getting that backup that he's accustomed to.
Yeah, he can also get destroyed in Shadow Dance too, with a heal bomb, with EO spirits, with breathe fire, with timber burst. There's a lot of things that just will straight own him, like we just saw. Simba able to farm up opponent's jungle too. Very nice farm there.
And they could get these Midases, but if Secret's got one Midas, all the towers, and they're farming both woods, you're going to fall further behind. Seems like it may be up to Shadeslow to turn this once he gets his Orchid, and
Here
they'll
they
try
go.
and make a go top on Kuroki. They finally... Oh, actually, they don't have Doom ready. It's still cooling down. Uh-oh. This is going to be a tough kill. They zip it with the Storm, going onto the Wisp, but they get a double silence to start this puppy walking out of the Static Storm. Will be able to grave Big Daddy, keeping him alive while J4 tries to TP out in front of everyone. Shadeslow also retreating out. They use the Necrophos ult to bring him down, so you're Doom off the field. The Yara will rotate bottom, but Simba's at full health. They can't really go on him. And we're now 13 minutes in. Still no Ravages this game, and the first real gank of sorts for PR. A pretty big
All of them
failure.
have been botched. First Slark dying for a Wisp, then the nice counterplay by Puppy and Big Daddy, securing the Reaper Scythe on the Doom 2. This is just going from bad to worse.
You couldn't have been gifted a better start either. Getting that first blood double kill.
Yeah.
It's not like PR earned that. Well, they played it well, but Secret chose to tower dive them at 4 minutes into the game.
And
What looked
I mean,
promising is
now they're knocking
quickly
out
unraveling.
T3s. Look at Big Daddy. He's a wisp, just like right-clicking T3s. 13 minutes in. It's like
Hey, he's
whatever.
level 6, man. It's all gravy now. Meanwhile, forced to TP out as Simba chains through him. Nobody can lane against this Timbersaw. Jeez, this is really falling apart for PR.
Yeah, they need like a Doom Glimpse combo on the Timbersaw, +1, plus like a Slark or a Storm to keep him in place. They have to overcommit to ganks now. And on top of that, they have to worry about relocate, even if they do go for that sort of gank, so I don't know.
I mean, Storm looked pretty good on paper if like he had the right supporting cast. There weren't that many stuns from Secret. They last picked Dragon Knight to try and address that, but the way they started this draft, it was a bit greedy. And then they didn't really do anything with it.
Kiro has a Blink Dagger. He's still like glass
Could be a big kill, though. They zip towards Simba, but he doesn't quite zip the right direction, so Simba able to retreat out. There's a relocate coming. Is he bringing in Puppy for a grave? Nope. He gets nothing for that in the meantime. That's Form Puppy moving around top. Rambling up towards your Slark. Ra just bought, actually not of Midas. He goes for the Blink Dagger, so at least completes it. He has the Blink ready. Are they going to get the stun off? They do. No Dark back there. Kill secured. And with the Necrophos ult, he's dead for over a minute. But finally they get a kill, and that Timbersaw is a pretty big takedown.
Yeah. Doom Glimpse doing work. Maybe expected to like relocate the, at least a threat of relocate maybe to prevent them from going on him, but with Tidehunter in the game, they can't really count on that because they don't want to relocate into there. So Cheshire Cat farming up Ancients, getting a stack on, working on Blink. He's been really quiet this game.
You just compare the way they're running the Tide to the way like EG and Secret did, and there's always a fat quad stack sitting for Fly or Universe. Or I guess Fear played the Tide a few games, but there's always a big jungle ripe with massive stacks of creeps ready to pluck it.
Well,
like
not
the 8 to
only
10 minute
that,
mark.
he's like, the Tidehunter's usually like up in their face.
Yeah.
And if you don't kill him, your damage will be severely mitigated with Anchor Smash, but if you do try and focus him, you'll usually just get ravaged and fight turn around too. And yeah, I mean, I can understand why he wants to go for a Blink early, but Secret's lineup was very weak early, especially with that double kill mid, Wisp not getting anything, and I think he could have, just stopped the snowballing into towers and really, as you said, just waiting for the Arcane Blink. His timing is just going to be very, very slow relative to what Secret has been doing, pushing with no items, pushing with a Midas, and getting away with tons of greed.
Well, we'll have to see if they turn it around. We unpause now. Blink Dagger coming soon on Cheshire Cat. Big Daddy is level 6 and change. We saw the relocate earlier. Now, having picked up the cloak, just going for some value HP and survivability items. Well, not HP, but survivability. They'll rotate towards bottom. They have a Shadow Blade on S4, spotted out by a Radiant Observer. So Shadeshaw will retreat out, but he may have to zip just to get out of range of this, which he will do.
Shadowblade's nice pickup for S4. They're not really looking at teamfight that much, so BKB is not that necessary. All he needs to do is just scout out ganks with Shadowblade, and then they can just relocate in with Reaper and get easy kills, and just severely hinder PR's item progression.
Yeah, especially in conjunction with the Wisp and the Timbersaw. These three have a lot of collective mobility, and we've seen how aggressive already Fly's played, so it's got good synergy.
Mm-hmm.
Chilling in the woods. Kuro picks up the Blink Dagger. I guess this is becoming like a go-to pickup for him now in the Necrophos. It's, I think 2 games in a row I've seen him go for it.
It just secures Reaper's kills if you're on the aggressive, and it's somewhat okay defensive, I suppose, but with like a Storm Zip is mostly just for getting a jump and following up on DK. You don't really want to be up close and personal with Necrolite if you don't have like a the tanky Atos and Mag and Cloak build.
Well, they're closing in on Orchid. They have their Blink Dagger on Slark. The gem was picked up by your Doom. And they'll zip in here on S4. Relocate's already gone to the top lane, so there's no help for the Dragon Knight. And it looks like he'll end up going down. At the same time, Suniko tries to TP out. Not going to happen. But Kuro is somewhat forced to use the Reaper sight there, so...
They
Bit
also
unlucky for Secret that they relocated right as that jump came bottom.
It's pretty risky for Slark to pick up a gem at this point too. He actually went for the Blink Dagger and skipped whatever he was building with the Gloves of Haste.
He'll jump on Cheshire Cat. He'll blink away. You know, Ben, sometimes I feel like you don't care about what I have to say.
What'd you just say?
I said he had the blink like 3 minutes
Oh,
ago.
you did? Oh, I didn't see it at all. I
Just
thought he was.
because you always ignore me, man.
I just assumed he was farming.
I thought we were
Midas.
friends.
Why would he? I mean, the blink's nice for getting kills, though, but I don't really see what the Gloves of Haste pickup was for. He could have just gotten the blink anyways. But
It did look like he was going Midas because, yeah, he got the gloves and then he felt differently.
the gem's kind of nice. I don't know. I still think he can just dive a blink Necrophos ult
Into
a
like
Reaper.
Timbersaw AoE and
Yeah, it is nice though to kind of scout out S4.
there is no relocate for 18 here. Might be an opening to jump in. Dark Pack was used as though he wanted to go, but Yara thinks better of it.
And J4 is also just not able to find that much farm too. He's just, hiding in the woods right now. He's trying to work on his Blink Dagger, I suppose, but not that close. Storm Spirit, though, as you mentioned, has that Orchid coming.
Bottom lane, S4 going in Viz. We'll run right by Shadeshaw. Well, they brain reinforcements. Remember, they do have that gem, but Slark not really in range here as he gets the stun off on J4. That's a quick solo kill. And now, Slark forced to leap away. If they can get eyes on him and Necrophos ult him, he may just go down to this. Kuro looking for it, but Slark will use his ultimate to shadow dance a bit farther back. They relocate in, going further, diving deeper for Yara. That's a gem down, boys.
Yeah.
They did grab her. Yeah, Big Daddy's already snatched it up. And now Suniko, Shadeshaw on the back foot. There's a zip in, looking for No-Tail, but he's going to relocate back 2 inches into the Ravage. Your first Ravage of the game. Finally, PR get to use it. S4 still surviving thanks to that Dazzle ultimate, and now even as it wears off, he gets graved, he gets healed again. He may live through all of this additional damage. Timbersaw chaining through. Simba with a quick double kill. They'll doom S4. Do they get the deny off here? No, they heal him. They try to keep him alive longer. Grave is not going to be ready. They'll have to go for the deny. They succeed, though. What a great team fight from Secret in the end. Taking down 4, first Ravage blown. And when it's all said and done, it's a 4 for 3. And Secret, I think, still emerge here with the gem.
Yes.
Actually, who has it?
It's in the base. Secret's really smart to pressure this Slark really hard, and they know that he's just really weak. All he has is Treads and a Blink Dagger, and they can just easily catch him with a Blink Stun, the relocate. It ended up kind of going into the Ravage, but where was the Tide at the beginning of the fight? Like, where was he when they relocated on top of him right next to that tower? They really needed him earlier, especially since he's been spending all this time farming an Arcane Dagger and Blink. You have
He's
to
gotta get
hit
his
that
Shivas,
timing.
dude.
Yeah,
Chill.
well, they've
He just needs
they
to
lost
speak.
a big fight because he wasn't in position, and now Slark is in like super recovery mode, and they also have no eyes on Dragonite too. So now everyone's really vulnerable. Their supports are going to be really poor because they have to buy sentries, and that was about as bad as you can get with the gem pickup.
Yeah.
One kill and then
Not to mention,
Death.
it's your first Ravage at like 17 minutes. I mean, he could have used that thing, what, 3-4 times at least? But
Yeah.
they just haven't really, they haven't tried to do much with it.
maybe he's too used to playing MP and TPing everywhere.
That's true.
Gotta walk sometimes.
Get this man a segue.
Yeah, he's doing anxious at this point, but I mean, Tidehunter's after missing the first timing window of his first Blink Ravage, it's not. I don't have high hopes for his game impact.
Well, let's see if he can prove your lack of belief wrong. They're going to look for a go on Simba here top lane. 12 Bloodstone charges, so even if he dies, he's respawning 48 seconds faster. He'll basically be insta-respawning. They're going to zip in. They're committing a lot to try and kill off this Timbersaw. Continues to worm his way through the trees. They finally get eyes on him, and they'll go for the doom, but this just, there's no way this will work. In fact, already the teleport comes in. They bring in a Shadow-Bladed S4, and he looks to rumble. At the same time, you relocate over the top lane. Storm zips into the relocate, then continues to zip out. He's out of mana now, though. They'll glimpse back the Necrophos all the way back to the rear of the fight. At the same time, Suniko will get caught out a bit here as the Dragonite works to bring him down. Got off his Disruptor ult. Simba still tanks through this. Ravage will fly. They're committing everything for a 13 Bloodstone charge Timbersaw, who respawns in 1 second. He's already back, and now they got to run the hell away. Shadeslow trying to retreat out of mana, out of options. And down he'll go already. Timbersaw charging forward, chaining and just shredding and killing everyone and making people sad. And J4 trapped in the trees. He'll be your 4th kill. So all of that for Timbersaw. And then this. Pain. Suffering. Death.
Necrophos had like 750 HP, like, I don't know, 7 minutes ago, and now he's double his HP with the Scepter.
Yeah, he had like all the Eggs components just chilling on the courier. Didn't even bother to deliver them until it was complete. He's beefy, man.
Yeah, they just have to commit so much to kill one hero. PR does. It should be clean though. Should be like, Blink Ravage into Static Storm. Someone runs away, they get glimpsed back, doom someone else, and Slark goes ham on whoever's doom.
Just to clarify, it was a buyback on Big Daddy. So they actually got 2 kills there, but even so, still a big win for Secret.
Yeah, they're getting all these kills that don't really matter. Like 4 of their 10 kills are on a Wisp.
They're going to push in through mid, looking for the tier 2. This is your second to last outer tower. At the same time, Simba. He died once. Now they're going to go in and try to make it a secondary kill. They silence him. Relocate. Is it forthcoming? Nope. He just suicides, though. No Doom there to prevent that, sadly. So they're thwarted again. This Timbersaw, even when they kill him, he's not really a very lucrative kill. He comes back instantly, gets counter kills, or just suicides. Now they'll push down mid. With Boots of Travel, instantly he can rejoin them, as they cool down in 1 second. So, almost instantly. Let's see if he BOTs. He does to the secondary wave. Shadeshell will get eyes on him, and maybe they look to go here. Still no Ravage, though, and they'll get Cheshire Cat caught out of position. Anchor Smash not going to help him. He's down for 80. While Shadeshell going in, tries to pick off Puppy. He'll pull him back in. Wisp is there, though, and now Shadeshell out of mana almost. Zips up to the high ground. Simba there to chase him. Herding Shadeshell away from the base while the team ignores him and pushes in. They've even gone on to S4, but it's a very little effect as Simba perhaps wasting too much time. Will back off. The tower ends up going down. Doom was already used to really no effect. And they'll take down the first lane of Rax. After a long and arduous chase, finally Simba gets that kill, but the real victory for Secret here is Rax. 24 minutes in, the base begins to fall apart, and they just go for 2. Secret are just not afraid to commit to these pushes, and at this point, who can blame them? They're damn far ahead.
After reflecting on the draft, it seems like the Doom was more of a deny pick than an actual, strat with them. Just because it didn't really fit into the way they played it. I think they wanted, a more active support, but they also didn't want to give Fly Doom to counter the Tide. And it just did not work out for them. The early game was just not that great at playing greedy.
They felt a little uncomfortable with that style. Again, they don't normally play that way. They normally run more of a traditional draft, run 2 real supports, and just focus on getting Zityar off that on the Slark, but it didn't happen this game.
So they didn't have plans to disrupt the aggro try, and they've done it before with the Necro Wisp.
Shadeshell will teleport in front of the tower, or where the tower once stood, I should say. And Krogi just casually trades blows with them. They're going to blink, looking for a Ravage. Wisp will come roaring through with the tether stun. I think might have gotten force staff there towards the end, but either way, still surviving through this time. Shadeshell now forced back. Your Slark just exploded as collateral damage. Cheshire Cat out of the fight, Shadeshell out of the fight, and Doom removed from the fight forcibly. They're going to relocate to try and hunt him down. They get an earn charge off on Shadeshell, and out come your GGs. Your Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Neither Mighty nor Morphin right now. They're just sad sacks of human flesh at this point, and they're done.
Yeah, that was disappointing with their lineup. Cheshire Cat, just 1 useful Ravage, and
how many
25
Ravages
minutes.
total? Is
He
3?
Ravaged, yeah, I think 3 times. 1 bottom, 1 top, and then 1 on the left T3. That's it, man.
All right. Oh, that's not our camera. What the hell? Someone screwed this shit up. All right, whatever. We don't have a cameraman. What the hell did these people do? Look at this. It's showing my Skype, man. Come on now.
Oh, I think, yeah, he had it on the screen capture. I think you can unclick the screen capture. I don't know, whatever.
Anyway, Secret take game 1. This is a best of 3, of course, so we'll take a quick break, guys. When we come back, we return for game number 2. It's a best of 3. Loser not eliminated, but we'll drop down to that lower bracket and have the long, hard road if they want to advance. You're watching Beyond the Summit's presentation of the Summit 2 by G2A.com Europe playoffs, and we continue after this.